everybody doing? Helen is already having an intense day. Say hi, Helen.
It's been interesting.
She's
Jaxon,
eyeing up
say
Jaxon's snack.
She's like, and fruit snacks for everybody, right?
Fruit snacks smell good. Hi. I love seeing everybody join. We have a special show today, Natasha.
Yes, we do. We are going to talk about stripy things.
Oh, stripy things. We're going to talk about
Helen's like, where's my bribery, Mom?
amazing stripe wraps. And we're going to compare Venus to some other wraps. Venus Aspect is the exclusive for the holiday party this weekend.
Holiday party. Who's going to be holiday partying? So we are going to talk about Venus Aspect. We're going to talk about Ring System Temoaya. And we're going to talk about Duet, Railroad, and we have Emerald. And we should note that when we put Emerald, it pretty much wraps similar to hibiscus and iron as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very similar. All right, so we created, because we know you loved our texture series chart, Railroad's an awesome wrap. It is. It's really good. So
we know you love a good chart, so we made it.
We know you love a good chart.
Oh, ooh, chart.
So we'll post a picture of this in TPS later.
Yes.
But hopefully everyone can see it. We have our wraps over here, starting with Venus, then Ring System Temoaya, then Duet Emerald, then Duet Railroad.
Yes.
Okay? So we should start by talking about Venus.
Yes.
And we should say, just like how we did, this is weird because you can't see my hands, but I'm fondling tails right now. It feels so nice. I miss this boy. So all of these numbers are just in relationship to each other. So yes, we're not comparing Venus to lovebirds. We're comparing Venus to these three other wraps. So they're in relationship to one another. Okay. Just gonna decide. All right, so let's get started. So our first category is dry to soapy. Dry is 1, soapy's 5. Where did we rank Venus?
So we're going to talk about them all together, or do we want to talk about them separately?
You tell me.
Okay, let's do separate. We'll talk about them, and then everybody will see the full picture. So,
okay. All right, sounds good.
We're going to skip around because we're wearing 2 wraps, so we'll just start talking about those. We have Venus Aspect up first, which I am wearing.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something. This thing has like a siren call to it. If you touch it, you will be smitten. So even if you look at it and you think, I don't think that's my jam. If you touch it, you just don't even know what happened. You're just like, I need that wrap. It's so soft. Let me get up because I know you want up closer.
It feels unlike any other Pavo. Like,
yes.
It's completely different than any other Pavo I've ever wrapped with.
It's so soft and floppy, like right away.
Let me say something weird to you, Natasha. Tell me how you feel about this. This is something I've been thinking about. I've been pondering this wrap, right? Okay, so Atomi, White Warps.
Yes.
All right? This feels to me similar to like the negative space, like the non-crepey weave, the negative space in Atomi White Warps. Go.
I don't know.
She disagrees.
I don't know.
I need to touch it.
I need to touch it.
We need it side by side.
Yes. Because this is so smooth to me.
It feels like that broken in between part to me. It's so smooth. It's so different than anything else. Like any other Pavo.
Yeah.
It's really thin.
It's very thin.
It's really thin and it's amazingly floppy.
And supportive. Look at Jaxon.
0 break-in. It's like you get, it's the...
People, look at this. I don't have a chest, but look at this chest pass and look at how snug that is.
Effortless. It's so effortless
it's so
to wrap
good.
with. Completely effortless.
Is it anything like Unis? Nope.
No, it's not. I mean, I do think that the ease of wrapping has a similarity to some of the cotton forms.
Yes, we feel like this would be great, like beginner wrap.
Perfect first wrap. I mean,
yes.
perfect.
Like
sometimes, you know, any of that, like the heaviness or sometimes like Helen, look at yourself. It always makes you happy when you look at yourself. It's very different. It has the kind of ease of wrapping of some forms, but it's still super supportive and solid, like sturdy.
Yeah, very solid. Okay, so Helen's gonna have a moment, and then we're gonna talk about Venus right now while she's letting Helen have a moment. So, for dry, which is like at a 1, to soapy, which is a 5, we gave it a 3. So it's like in the middle. So we have, we kind of were like, okay, so this is black warp. So you have to take into account that it's black warp, and we feel like black warps are never gonna be super soapy, but just in relation to the other ones that we're talking about today, we felt that this was more on the soapier side.
It is kind of soapy, especially the striped stuff.
Yes, it does have a good, you know, a little bit of something to it. And so then solid versus stretch. So solid is a 1, stretch is a 5. We gave it a 4. There is some stretch to this thing. Jaxon is now spitting because he's lovely like that. Let's see. I'm going to take the Welch's out of the picture because I know you all want fruit snacks now. And I'm going to try and get this sideways. Let's see. Let's see. Whoop, whoop, whoop. See that? So we gave it a 4. It has some stretch to it. Grip at a 1, glide at a 5. We went back and forth on this one. And we finally settled at 4.5. That's the first time we went 0.5 on something.
We compromised.
We did.
Tasha said 5, I said 4. We met in the middle.
Because we didn't want people to think that it was slippy, because it's not slippy.
It's not, because it's like, sorry, we're just reconfiguring. It's super flannel. Like, it's very flannelly, and to me, that alone, like that quality gives it slight grip.
Yeah.
Even though it's not textured.
Yeah.
Per se. If that makes any sense.
So it moves across itself, and it's easy to wrap with. So 4.5. And then flat is a 1. Texture is a 5. We gave it a 1. It's a pretty flat wrap, which makes it super smooth. Nice. And can we just see this, the other side, because I'm not going to call it wrong. I love how it just like, you can see the color through there. Just like muted. It's beautiful. Awesome. Okay. What size do you think it shines in? This is a 6, which is kind of sort of my base. Sometimes my base is a 7, just depends on the day, I guess. And I really like it in this size. I prefer my shorties to be grippy because I do a lot of slip knots. So, but I did do this one for Tara. I did do this one in a slip knot, and I did like it. So, I think it could work out.
I think it would be like a really good for a newborn, for like a little squish, or really nice like size 4, really nice like FRTR with like a little baby. Yes. With a bigger baby, maybe like base.
Yes. Hi, Jaxon. Who's gonna kiss me now? All right,
Helen
Jane.
and I are really trying. This is us trying.
Get your life together, Jane.
Okay, so we're back. Sort of. We have carbohydrates, and we're moving forward. So, we've switched wraps. We're now in Ring System. Ring System Temoaya. Let's get a close-up of that gorgeous weave. It is beautiful. Gosh, I forgot how much I liked this wrap. It's really nice. This is, I know, this is a size 3. We're in reverse coolest hip carry. Helen says hi, sort of. She's feeling very moody today. We have moments. Okay, so I'm gonna try and talk over her carb loading moaning right now, and talk a little bit about Ring System. So if you haven't tried Ring System, I think that this is a must try. It's a very unique, different wrap. It has this amazing micro texture, but at the same time, it's very easy to wrap with, even though it has a lot of grip and texture. So, and it makes it phenomenal. I mean, I think it's great at any size, I do, but it's a really awesome shorty. Like Natasha was saying, the slip knot, the need for both Natasha and I have a similar love for slip knots. And let's just look at this slip knot. If Helen wasn't chewing so hard, you'd be able to hear it. But it just has this really nice grip and glide. I don't struggle with it at all because it's that micro texture. So it's not a challenge to tighten it all, but it gives the perfect little Velcro grip. Okay, I'll stop getting off topic here. Okay, so dry to soapy. We ranked this a 1. It's pretty darn dry. It has a good amount of dryness to it.
Yes,
when you.
it's very dry.
Yeah.
Very
dry. Solid to stretch, we said 1. I said to Natasha, like, I feel like when you wrap with it, it feels like it has more stretch than it actually does in hand. So in hand, there's not much give there. Like there's that little bit of diagonal stretch we associate with Pavo. Like an unmarked Gotham as far as the grip, it's a very different dryness.
It has like, because of this
different
texture, like I wouldn't say. I think it feels drier than that because of.
You think it feels drier than it?
I do. And I think that's just because of how like the little micro texture that you have here, like when you run your finger over it, kind of stops you.
It's been so long since I felt.
So I don't know if it's true, but you know.
I just think it's so different. I would have to have an unmarked Gotham here to try. It's been a while since I've tried one. It's very different because Gotham has that macro texture, you know, and with Ring System's micro texture, I think it will break in to be slightly less dry, but I don't know. It's hard to say without the other one here. Oh, so good. All right, so solid to stretch. That's what we're trying. So yeah, I was saying, Natasha was like, it really doesn't have any stretch, and I was like, really? I feel like when you wrap with it, it does, but it really doesn't have much, and it does not give much at all. But I think because it is very thin, it's really quite thin, and that micro texture, she said like it suctions to you, you said, when you wrap, and that makes it feel like it has a lot of stretch, even though it really doesn't at all. It's pretty solid. Yeah. So we gave it a 1, very solid. Grip to glide, we said 1, tons of grip. Tons of grip, micro texture grip. It's like Velcro, but not in a way that it's hard to tighten. I don't think at all. No. Like it's just stays put, locks in place. And then flat to texture, we said 5. It's pretty, when you rub your hands over it, it's pretty textured. It's got,
Jaxon is attacking
the camera. It's pretty textured when you run your hand over it. You can really feel the physical texture. I know there's been some talk in TPS about how it's changing as it's breaking in, and people are saying that it's becoming even better as it breaks in because it retains that grip, but softens up a lot. But it's not, I mean, don't let our talk of grip and texture make you think it's beastly, because it's not at all. It's still very floppy and thin. Do you like this movement? That's what I like to see in a wrap. It's really nice. Okay, so Duet Emerald.
I'll put this here so I can grab my towel as necessary. So we are going to talk about emerald, and like I said before, when we say emerald, we feel like this also wraps very similarly to iron and hibiscus as well. We separated out railroad because we feel like it has different properties.
So different.
So, I don't know.
This green is so good. Beautiful.
Okay.
Even Helen wants to touch it. She's coming out of her anger.
Hi, Jaxon. Welcome back. Hi. Okay, so Duet Emerald. Dry 1, soapy 5. We gave it a 2. It's a pretty dry wrap. In a good way.
Again, I think all black warps kind of have this like flannel-y quality, and I would say black warp duet is like very blankety to me. This is blankety.
Yes.
And for me, that sometimes confuses the dry and soapy thing, but if we're comparing them amongst themselves, yes.
Yes. And then, so solid 1, a stretch 5, gave it a 2. Pretty solid wrap. Let me get over here. See. Ooh.
We said it just has the slightest bit more stretch than Ring System, but it's still very solid.
Yes.
And not.
It's like a shelf. You get your child up in there, they're not going anywhere. It's a shelf. 1 for grip, 5 for glide. Gave it a 2. So it has a little tiny bit of grip. Has a little bit of glide, but we felt it was more on the glide side than grip. Jackson, please stop hitting. Thank you. And so, flat 1, texture 5, we gave it a 2.5. Somewhere in the middle. Because it is a pretty flat wrap, but when we say texture, we mean what you feel when you rub your hand across it. And you can definitely feel a little something, something.
But this is also, we should also say, I mean, this is not broken in at all.
Yeah.
We've been wearing this very, just a little bit, received it in loom state, so it's not broken in at all. My iron is very different. Are they, I mean, I wouldn't call any of them narrow, but black warps are narrower than white warp Pavos. So these are all, and I didn't check, I'll check now real quick, the width of Venus, but I believe it's the same as other black warps.
Yeah, pretty close. So yeah, this one I love Duet and because of the qualities that it has. I love it in shorty, I love it on a base +1. Can't go wrong. It rocks a slip knot, which is like a must for us during the winter time. You want to take that and go, Jackson?
Actually.
And so you can see I'll move it up and down. So, perfect slip knot. So Jane's doing some research for you right here on camera.
It's actually not. It's wider.
It is?
I think.
All right, let's see.
No, maybe a touch.
Yeah, a touch.
About an inch.
Maybe an inch. So
I'll compare it.
Flip
Yeah.
it. So really we got like maybe that much difference between Duet and Venus.
Yeah, so it is a slightly wider than than the other black warps.
Okay, so the last one that we're going to talk about is Duet Railroad. And Jane's going to bring that over.
So Duet Railroad is white warp Duet.
Okay, Jackson.
And it's, let me just be 1 second.
Everybody's having a meltdown. Been that type of day, people. So,
'tis the season.
yeah, so dry 1, soapy 5. What did we give it?
We gave it a 3. We said middle of the road. Helen is throwing her snack that she was begging for. We said middle of the road of dry to soapy. I do think that, sorry.
Now he's purposely bumping.
Oh, okay. We said it felt the same as Venus.
Yes. So we felt those two felt very similar. Not dry, not soapy. Oh, you feel our pain then, the struggle. So somewhere in the middle. And then for solid versus stretch, solid is a 1, stretch is a 5. We gave it a 3. Jane's gonna pop over after she just abandons her child.
She's on her own. She's fine.
We're doing solid versus stretch. So you wanna kind of show
I do.
them?
I would love to. I'll try not to step on snack here. So this by far, look at that. It's totally different than the black warp Duet.
Oh wait.
Let's do a little comparison.
Let's get them in there. Ooh, we know you love these. So There's black. There's the white.
It's a really sunny day, so this feels like a little overexposed,
Whoop,
but
whoop, whoop. Look at that. Look at what's happening there, people.
in hand, I would say that Railroad feels like a broken in. It feels very similar to my iron. But in hand, it's thinner and stretchier.
And we had a very long conversation about how that a broken in iron feels like this. This is not broken in. And so we don't even know where this is going.
So it's going to be incredibly soft. It already is.
Yeah.
And it's not broken in. My iron, we've been working on since release. We've had it since release and we wear the heck out of it. So it's super broken in. And so it feels, these are probably a similar level of broken in state, and they feel completely different. Completely different. So if you've tried Black Warp Duet and it wasn't for you, A, we have nothing in common, but I still love you. B, you should be trying Railroad.
It's
for
the
sure.
wrong side. Oh, they want a slip knot. Oh, Jane,
blue.
can you slip knot that?
Oh, I would love to slip knot this. Let me just slip knot it on top of the slip knot wrap I already have going on here.
She's just going to wear all the wraps all at once.
All the wraps.
I mean, wait a minute. While we're waiting on Jane to do that, can we just take a moment of silence for this slip knot? I mean, look at that.
I'm going to...
Right side, wrong side.
There is nothing
that's
better
a sexy
than
knot, people.
Duet and a slip knot.
That's just,
Okay.
Look at that.
So-
Look at the shoulder. I don't even have a child in there. It's good.
I have 25 wraps going on here, and I'm also slip knotting in a 7. So just keep that in mind.
I think I should go put on Venus and slip knot that as well.
Yeah, you
We'll
should.
just put them all together.
You should definitely be slip knotting in Venus.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Natasha, this is how we get off topic and our shows go to an hour. Because we're like, let's just slip knot everything. Let's
Someone asks one question and we just go completely off
go.
the rails.
And I just love, my favorite thing is when you slip knot in Duet and you fold one side over another and you get both.
I know.
So,
See, look, I got a...
Yes, it's perfect.
I went advanced on you.
You did, you sneaky. Okay, so this would be my quick Railroad slip knot. I'm glad you love what's happening here. I'm glad someone does. Goodness knows.
We don't even know what's
We don't know what's happening. I mean, okay, so ready? Ready, folks? There's snack on the floor. I'm trying not to step one. Okay.
Okay. All right, here I come. Wait. Okay, so this guy...
Oh, side by side.
So he's a fatty compared to this guy.
Look. He is fatty.
Never say we don't geek enough for you people. We're wearing 4 wraps between the two of us. All slip knotted.
Oh, look at this slip knot party.
Let's see, can we get them all in?
Oh my gosh, we can.
I should have did the other side of this because you can't really see.
They're all so different.
Look at that.
Look how little tiny ring system is compared to...
God bless you if you just joined us.
right.
You have no clue what it's going on
you don't know.
here.
Just, I don't know. Get a snack. Relax.
They are
I compared Venus to a vintage tie. That's really what it reminds me of visually, especially when you Aran knot in that. Oh, it's nice. Gosh, I could slip knot this all day long. Shout out to Lolita, who's letting us borrow this Railroad for this episode, because, I'm in the process of size trading and obsessing.
There we go. Look at that. Bam.
Ooh.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
And there's that one. There's Emerald. Emerald's still the fattest.
Mm-hmm. You need a moment. Did you get a moment for this? Ooh.
That's a good one.
You need this wrap. Anyone that says that anyone that's thinking they don't need it, once you feel this in person, you're gonna need it.
Siren call. It has it. Okay, where were we at? The last one.
Who knows where we were?
Flat versus texture, I think.
Oh, for Railroad. Okay. So flat versus texture, we gave it a 2. It's we said it's a little bit flatter than our non-broken in Emerald. I think that it's very similar to my broken in iron as far as flatness and texture, but we're comparing apples to apples here.
Yes.
And apples to apples are Duet Railroad and our Duet Emerald, we would say that Railroad, I keep trying to call it chambray, that Railroad is flatter than Emerald. All right. So
I need to step over here.
Helen's taking over Jackson's book.
Yeah, Jackson's like, can you get the book back?
Any questions about these amazing friends in person? It will always be chambray, I know. It's very hard to readjust our verbiage once we learn real world. But I do really love the name Railroad for it too. It's nice. And I can't wait to see if we see this red. If you had to pick a favorite of the 4, that's just mean.
All of them. All of them, all of the time.
All of them, all of the time. I mean, you know, Helen's pick is always going to be Duet. Is it as airy as a Temoaya? No. It's a denser weave. Sorry, if anyone did see that question and for the replay, we're comparing whether ring system Temoaya is as airy as as a Temoaya, and we would say no. A Temoaya has like a crepey weave. Whereas I would say ring system has more of a micro texture. It's fairly compact.
Yeah.
So while I wouldn't necessarily call it dense, I would say it's a tight weave.
Yes, there we go. That's the word we want, Jane.
This is not broken in at all. We received it in Loom State and have only worn it a couple times. So it's not broken in at all at this point. I did have a 4 that was amazing, and that was just starting to break in, and it was only getting better. And torso carry and ring system Temoaya is amazing.
It's good. It's not going anywhere. Okay, really. So someone wanted to know if they felt like Railroad was as much of a toddler beast as the Black Warp Duets. Yes and no. I'm gonna say my yes is because, you know, it's Duet. It's like bulletproof. It's a shelf. It's not going anywhere. It does have a little bit more stretch than the Black Warp. And so, you know, if you have a really big wiggler, there's more room for them to move around.
If you're comparing Duet Railroad to another wrap that's not a Duet.
Yes.
I would say still super shelf-like support, still super solid.
Yeah.
But if you're comparing it just to a Black Warp Duet,
yeah.
Slightly less solid and slightly more stretchy.
Yeah. So if you have a toddler that is a beast and you have a Black Warp Duet and you love it, you're still going to love your Black Warp. And they're not going anywhere. It's a shelf.
I personally really love, so now I have iron in a 3 and I have chambray in a 7, which is coming. And I really love that. I'm really liking, I said chambray. I'm really loving Railroad in a base, and I really love my Black Warp in a shorty. For me, but I know other people are.
Yes, I had a 7 that I ended up chopping because I wanted the messenger bag, but I do miss Duet in a 7. It was so
loved
good.
You loved it in a base.
Okay, so while we go completely off topic, let's see. There were 2 things. The scarf. How to make a scarf. So I'll do that in a second. The other one was that Irene asked, how do I wear heels and wear my toddler at the same time if I did anything different? And usually I wear him on my back, not on my front, because if you're wearing heels or especially stilettos, all of the weight is on the ball of your foot. So you really don't want to put a child up front because it's just going to tip you over. Jaxon is almost 30 pounds, so I do carries that have multiple passes. Yes, baby. What is it? You want to come say hi to the people? So, we are talking about how to make a scarf. Okay. I know what his problem is. So, this is Unistorm. This is a size 4. And when Jaxon hops down in this and I'm out and about, I fold it in half at my middle marker, get a loop here, wrap it around my neck.
I do that too, I love it.
I pull it through, and so you have 2 options here. You can just go like this and then let it hang, because this is a 4. I'm like 5'8". It's not dragging the ground, it's cool to go. If you don't want to be tripping over it as you move up and down, then I kind of loosen it down some and tuck this back throughout the front. So,
Gorge. Love it.
That's how I rock it.
I do that a lot too. I also do, this is a 3. I take it and I shorten one of the tails and I just loop it around. I do this in my 4s all the time too. And then I'll take these and I either just kind of tie them off over to the side in a loose knot. Or I also like to take this and then go, oops, hit myself in the face. That's what I like to do.
Myself in the face.
Yeah. And just loop it through the middle. I do sometimes. And then tie it off down here. So then I get kind of this little princess. Ta-da! It's a really nice scarf.
It is a really nice scarf.
It's really, I feel like the color is not translating. Oh, push pins everywhere. Color's not translating super well on camera, but it is so rich and gorgeous and luxe in person. Natasha's saving our children right now. Thank you, Natasha. And just so that you can see this weave and how much depth it has, it's really quite gorgeous. And it's a great scarf, which is nice because it's also a really great shorty. Any other questions about these amazing wraps?
Come on, Helen, let's go say goodbye. Let's rescue you from the push pin area.
Thank you. Say hey, Natasha. Oh, big smile.
Push your legs and the tag. Come here.
Hi.
Come say goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Do we feel like does it feel like a neutral like a Temoaya? Yes, absolutely. That's a really good way to put it. It feels very neutral, even though it has so much color.
It does.
Yes, I think that this is it wraps very differently than a Chomi tee, but if you like how that wraps, I think that you will like this as well. And the color feels it has so much color that it's very neutral. The black warp, the way it's woven, it really neutralizes the color. It doesn't feel, it tones it down, like Natasha said. It doesn't feel like a rainbow wrap at all. It just feels like a perfect fall wrap going into winter. It's really nice.
Okay.
Great.
And then someone just asked what was our agenda for next week. And I think we're going back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
We have a couple wraps that people wanted us to talk about, underrated / high wrap. So we're going to do that. And that topic sounds like let me pull your hair. We also had some other good ideas about stuff that people wanted to see compared, and we're going to go through those and see if we can get them to a show for you.
Yeah, maybe we'll fix a stash while we're at it.
We're going to fix some stashes.
Candy cane, maybe. We'll see. There's a big weekend this weekend.
I
We didn't have
know.
that topic today, but there's so many amazing wraps that are going to be released. That stack of wraps. Whew. And if you've been like me and have had that image, that sneak peek of a teeny cobalt saved in your phone for 6 to 9 months, then you're pretty excited. I can't wait to see that out in the world. Woo! Amazing. Yeah.
Like, let me slap you people.
All right.
Yay. Jaxon,
Thank you so
can
much.
Say goodbye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Right there. Say bye.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you next week.